What's up, Schwartz Force? Welcome back to the channel. Got another cool video for you today, hopefully useful for a lot of you guys and gals out there. I can't take credit for the idea. This is going to Syndicated Satellite. I'm gonna link his channel up here. You should go check him out. Subscribe to his channel as well. He kind of has an interesting pulse on the watch world, kind of behind the scenes with a lot of stuff, other content creators and things. So he said, why don't you make a how-to video on cleaning watch straps, bands, bracelets, stuff like that. And I'm like, yes, that is a great idea. And I will share all my pro tips with you that I have, but I'm gonna go through from all the different types of straps and bracelets I own, how I clean them, and what I recommend you do as well. I've seen other videos out there that are a little questionable, maybe from people that aren't as experienced or just kind of going willy-nilly and may end up having some people damage their straps if they're not careful. So I'm going to show you the products I use. Everything will be linked down in the description below. Of course, these are affiliate links, so they help out the channel, but don't cost you anything. And if you decide to pick any up, I appreciate the support. But if you have better ideas, better products or methods, definitely leave them down in the comments as well, because I want to share that with the Schwartz Force out there. So I'm always open to learning new things and getting other suggestions. Now, without further ado, in case you're new to the channel, my name is Dave. May the Schwartz be with you. And hey, did you know it's a great day to wear a watch? Today I have on the Holland's Datejust. Now, I took the Jubilee style bracelet off and I threw on my Suede green strap from StrapsCo. Now, in case you guys didn't see my video where I did a live stream interviewing the owner of StrapsCo, Martin, he and I and his team were kind of working together. I'm part of like an ambassador program with StrapsCo, so I am an affiliate kind of partner with them. You can use my link for StrapsCo down below. I get a small commission for that, and that helps out the channel, but again, doesn't cost you anything. And they got a crazy good sale going on right now. It's like pre-Black Friday, and then they're gonna have the Black Friday, so the more straps you buy, the more you save. It's just buy two, get one free. There's a lot of goodies, so definitely check them out. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, guys, so this is gonna be our first cleaning, which is stainless steel or metal bracelets. This one is obviously a gold-plated two-tone. This is actually a watch my grandpa lent me. It needed a battery replacement, and then I wanted to clean it up for him just as a thank you for letting me check it out. I'll do a quick little review, but this is a Seiko quartz. I think he said this watch is from the 80s, if I'm not mistaken, of when he bought it, possibly the 90s. But you can see, I'd done a little bit of light cleaning, but you can see there on the bracelet, there's a bunch of grime, arm cheese, so to speak, in between the links. And so we're gonna go ahead and get this all cleaned up. Now in this container, the spray bottle here is Meguiar's Super Degreaser. I have a 10-to-1 ratio as far as from the concentrate. I'm telling you, buy this stuff once. I have had this gallon container of the concentrate for years and years. I've cleaned so much stuff with it, and it just keeps on going and going. So if you want a more concentrate, you can obviously do like a 6-to-1 ratio or 4-to-1 ratio. I don't recommend going that strong. What you want to avoid is, of course, having too strong of a concentrate where it actually starts to, let's say, take off, you know, the coloring of your leather or your materials, or where it's causing damage because it's too strong of a mixture. So 10-to-1 is what I recommend, but just, you know, obviously test an area out first. And then of course I like using a soft bristle brush. This is actually more of a medium bristle. This is an extra one I had from a gun cleaning kit. It's just a nylon bristle brush, and you can of course use a toothbrush or whatnot. But what I like to do is spray some on the brush itself. And then like I mentioned, I always go for the least aggressive method. So I like to spray it on a microfiber towel like this, and then just kind of rub it in there. Now, if I'm having trouble or I can't get into all the nooks and crannies or whatnot, then that's when our brush comes in handy, and we'll just kind of work it in there. Again, just circular motions, don't press real hard. We wanna let that degreaser do its job of getting in there and breaking that up, and then just letting the bristles actually agitate it and remove all of that. So we'll take a look here in a second. So I took a few minutes cleaning that all up, and as you can see here, in between all of our links, we're now nice and clean. One area where there was a lot of dirt was here under the clasp, and you can see now all the areas where it is completely cleaned out. There's no grime or dirt, and that's what we want to see. So again, just using the right tools and the right product can make your job a whole lot easier. If you try to scrub that out with, I mean, you can use Q-tips and all other sorts of stuff, but that was just a bristle brush and a simple microfiber towel. That's all you need. Now, one thing you can do after cleaning and drying it is you can hit it with the polishing cloths. I'm being a little more gentle on this particular watch. One, it's not mine, it's my grandpa's, but two, I don't want to pull off any of the plating from the gold, that gold plating. I don't want to remove any of that. So by rubbing too hard with a polishing cloth, that might actually cause more damage. I think that looks so much better now. And that's how I pretty much do all of my stainless steel or metal bracelets, using that method right there. All right, so next up, we're gonna look at leather. Now, leather you have to be careful with because obviously you don't want moisture to damage the leather. This is actually a watch from Wells. You can see how dirty it is right up in here where the case meets. Yeah, look how dirty this watch is. So I'm gonna go ahead and detail this up for Wellsies and get it looking nice and new for him. Hopefully he doesn't mind. This is a watch we actually need to repair. This is the one he kicked into a wall, and you can see the second hand there where the hour hand is all tangled up with the minute hand. So we're gonna take this apart and try and fix it. That'll be another episode. But in the meantime, I'm gonna at least get this thing looking good for him. Now for the leather itself, same thing. I use the degreaser from Meguiar's, but I'm gonna go with a little bit different of a method. And then I also use this here, Weiman leather cleaner and conditioner. And the final step is this leather only. Now, it's technically one step, cleans and conditions, but I like to use this for a conditioner and protectant as kind of a final application. So we want to go with the least aggressive method. So I'm just going to dampen this microfiber towel, and we're just going to wipe the leather clean. Not applying a whole lot of pressure, just kind of keeping it nice and gentle. And you'll see, since this is an unprotected leather where there's some discoloration, that's just from it getting damp. But once it dries up, it'll go back to its natural color. Now you want to be careful with some leathers. I always say test an area out first. If you notice it starts pulling off the color, let's say if this was a blue leather and you started seeing blue dye come out onto your microfiber towel, definitely stop what you're doing and just know that this is too strong for that particular dye that's in the leather. So you might want to go with something a little more gentle. But in this case, because I know Wells probably never cleaned this leather, I'm just going to take my time and give it a nice wipe. This is just removing all of the surface grime. Where you want to be particularly careful is on some leathers. Towards the end, you don't want to saturate it because then it's going to allow, or like if this wasn't stitched here, if it was just glued, you would not want to saturate this with a lot of liquid or cleaner. I've seen some videos where people just like douse their leather and they're just working it all in, which is getting it clean, yes, but you're also potentially going to remove the glues that are underneath the leather where it folds over. And once that peels off, if it's not stitched, it's just going to eventually come off and become a problem. So you want to avoid doing that if at all possible. One thing I would say is don't get too hung up on the staining of the leather. In my opinion, I'd much rather have the leather stained slightly and it be protected than to have it soaked and then it actually gets damaged from the moisture. So that's just my opinion. You obviously want it clean, but if it's permanently stained on the inside section, to me, that doesn't bother me. So next up, we're gonna take our leather cleaner, we get a different corner of our microfiber, spray a little on there, and then just go ahead and work that into the leather as well. So essentially what I like to do is use the degreaser to just kind of break up the exterior dirt and grime that's on the top of the surface of the leather. This leather cleaner is going to do a little bit better of getting into the leather and cleaning it a bit more with the natural oils and things that are in this particular cleaner. Actually smells nice too. And then the last step, of course, is this here to kind of condition and put a layer of protection on it. Put a dab there in the last little dry corner that I have here. And then this I'm going to generously apply to the leather and let it soak it in. Really get in there and absorb that conditioner. All right, so here we have Wellsie's watch after being detailed. Hopefully you can see the difference there coming through on the camera. We got in the lugs, even though that's going to be blocked with the straps. I think it's important to keep it clean, We got underneath the bezel as well. So that's all been cleaned and polished, and his watch is ready for some more wear and tear. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave this out to finish drying. You can still see some spots that are a little damp. But yeah, I'll leave this out to completely dry, and it is pretty much good to go, and has a nice little layer of protection embedded into it. And yeah. Now this is a Sailcloth strap. This one came with my Reef Tiger watch here, and you'll notice that it has the leather lining in the back. I wore this in the saltwater, so it definitely got a little bit of like discoloration. I don't know if this is showing up on the camera, but there's some areas where you can see it's a little more grayish instead of black. Taking the strap off the watch. Now, what I like to use for sailcloth and other kind of materials that are not leather is this here, Folex carpet spot remover. I know it's for carpet, right? But it works for upholstery as well. I like that it's color safe, doesn't have any crazy chemicals or anything. So what we're gonna do is just go ahead and apply it directly to our sailcloth. And I'm just gonna work it in there. As you can see, so I'm just letting it really absorb into the sailcloth itself. Now, you could use the degreaser from Meguiar's, but I have noticed that with cloth, I don't know, it seems to like almost give it a faded look, like it pulls some of the dye out of the material, which is not what we want to do. Leather's a little different, a little more hardy. Really easy. After you've let it soak in there for a little bit, just go ahead and dry it off with the microfiber towel. You could technically use this also on your NATO straps, but for NATO straps, what I recommend is actually hand washing them with just a little bit of laundry detergent, something that's safe for colors, and just hand wash them, agitate them, let them soak for 10-15 minutes, go back in, agitate them again, and then take them out and let them air dry. Do not put them in the dryer. I wouldn't put them in the washer. I would just do everything by hand. So, and then since the inside of the sailcloth has a little bit of leather, I'm just gonna go ahead and take some of our leather only, and I'm just gonna wipe it in there right on the inside. So kind of got another layer of conditioning and protection there on the inside of the Reef Tiger strap. So that is how I take care of my sailcloth. I'm gonna let that just dry for a little bit, and then I'll put it back on the watch. All right, so lastly, we're gonna take a look at suede. This is this light blue suede strap. Any light suede colors are gonna be obviously the hardest to keep clean and maintain. So you obviously need to be very careful with suede. You don't wanna use any of the other products I've just showed you to clean suede. Suede you have to be a little more careful with. I recommend buying a kit. I bought this little suede and nubuck kit. So the main thing is the eraser. Basically you get your suede. If you get, like, let's say this was dirty or stained, you would get your eraser and you would just rub it on the suede until that stain comes out. May take a little bit depending on how stubborn it is or how dark the staining is. So just take your time, use your eraser. This suede is actually in great condition. It has not been damaged or stained. The only place I could maybe think is here near the lugs, but everything looks good. If this suede was super dirty, what I would end up doing is taking all the hardware off. So I would like remove the buckle. Obviously I would take this off the watch, and we'd get in there and actually, you know, take our time with it. One thing you may need to do is if this starts to get kind of bald or flat, you can of course use your wire brush. So I'm hesitant to of course put this near the lugs, but basically you just use that to bring the napping of your suede right back to life. I'll do a little piece here. And give it that textured look again. So very easy. This is for if you were straightening it out. It's not really needed for watch straps. It's more for like shoes and boots. But basically that's all you got to do with suede. Now, once you have your suede cleaned, the best thing I would recommend doing is buying this Apple brand Guard. It's rain and stain repellent for suede. So this is specifically for suede and leather. Basically, you want to apply this outside. It's pretty strong smelling, so you don't want to be breathing in the fumes from this. So you hold it 6 to 9 inches away from the suede, give it a nice little coating, let it dry. Don't soak it into the suede or leather, of course. And then, of course, you're going to have stain and moisture repellent to your suede strap. Preventing is always key when it comes to maintaining the best look on your item. So again, definitely invest in something like this, and then the rest is just keeping it clean from time to time. All right, guys. So we covered leather, we covered sailcloth, we covered our stainless steel bracelets, and we even went into suede. That's pretty much everything I can think of. Not as difficult as you would think. Again, it's just a matter of having the right tools for the right job, and you can make all of your straps and bracelets look almost just as good as new. If you have better methods or recommendations, definitely drop a comment down below. Now again, thank you to Syndicated Satellite for the recommendation on doing a little how-to video. I hope it helped you guys and gals out. Of course, join the Schwartz Force, hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet. I'd love to have you be part of the team. Until then, I will look forward to seeing you guys at the next one. As always, may the Schwartz be with you. Take care.